This
All
is
right,
happening.
we are live.
We are.
This is podcast episode number 6.
Number 6.
Let's hope that the video is a little bit smoother this time. Last time I had some issues with the encoder settings and the recording settings, but I made some changes, and let's see how that goes. But we're rocking. How's it going?
Awesome. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You're a little bit laggy, but that's okay. We'll see how it goes. Sipping on
I hope
some.
that, yeah, I hope that settles down.
I hope so too. It's hard to
Sipping on some coffee.
sipping
Yeah.
on some coffee. I need
Cheers.
it. I need it today.
Me too.
This
hmm
episode brought to you by coffee and high
All
definition
episodes,
swallowing
all
sound.
episodes are brought to you by coffee. That's just
Coffee,
the
wherever
norm.
you are, sponsor us. Can you imagine if there was one company called Coffee?
Do we need a sponsor soon? Maybe.
I don't think it's something that you need. I feel like it's something that you earn. You know,
You earn.
people be
Would
like,
you-
"What's your viewership?" 0.
Yeah. But we could have fake sponsors so that
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. No. Yeah.
We should start like 30 companies and make them sponsors and just see if one of them
Mhm.
takes off.
Exactly, yeah.
If one takes off, the rest takes off.
I hope this takes off in the way that people start engaging in better conversations, longer conversations, and deeper conversations.
That's the goal.
It is.
Yeah. So and coffee helps you do that. So coffee.
So, any long conversations you've had recently, other than last episode?
Not really. No, not really. Maybe a couple. Just with some friends, maybe for like 5 minutes, getting into a topic, or somebody, pulls a memory or had read a story, and then you kind of get into a little bit. But in general, not really.
It's hard to maintain focus and topic.
Yeah, and know where to go. And also, it's weird to just be silent. And usually, ideas come when you're silent and you're just kind of sitting there. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, your brain manufactures something out of nowhere, and it's just like, here's a thing, and then you take that and you put it out into the air, and then it sparks a conversation. But that doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily happen if you're just kind of back and forth about random stuff that's in your presence, let's say.
I find it hard to go random on conversations, actually. It's always something that's related to the relationship, or that it's like pending talk, or talking about just personal stuff most of the time.
Yeah.
But it's harder to exchange ideas about just random stuff. I find it harder in my life.
Why do you
to-
think that is?
I guess it's because I don't know. No, the truth is I don't know. I would like to know and figure it out, and kind of it has to do with the I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I will say that what's interesting for a lot of people, for a lot of people, if you start getting into something, it seems exhausting. A lot of people get tired and they're like, I don't want to even.
Mhm.
Whereas for me, sometimes I feel like it gives me energy. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like, no, let's get into this. Let's talk about this. Let's see where it goes. I want to know if you have any thoughts on this.
Yeah, and it's already in your mind, so you'd rather just put it out there and
Yeah.
explore with someone. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, especially if it's something that's in the news or something's going on. It's like, hey,
Hmm.
I want to see what you think about it. What sources have you read?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's kind of get into this. But it's always like, I don't want to.
Mhm.
Like, I'm just tired. I don't want to get
Yeah.
into that.
Maybe I have an answer to your question now that you mentioned that,
Yeah.
because maybe I've become a little bit frustrated or tired that most of the times I bring up conversation or something comes up and I want to like tackle the topic and explore and go deep,
Yeah.
right? And go multivariate on the equation that is being discussed.
Right.
But I guess throughout my life, it's always someone else that kind of puts an end to early end to the conversation, or twists the thing to go into somewhere else, or is just not able to go deep and explore a a random idea, or kind
Yeah.
of put yourself in another perspective so that the conversation goes on. So I guess it's about um, this sort of frustration. Maybe frustration is not the right word, but kind of you kind of understand who you can have deep and long conversations with, and who you can't.
It's
It's
also about
almost
the
like
topic too. It's also about the topic because
yeah,
people sometimes it takes a while, but all of a sudden someone will pop out from behind the eyes with like something deep, you know what I mean? And they'll just start going
sure.
off on it. They'll start rambling, and you're like, whoa, 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 where'd this come from? And it's like a whole thing that you can explore, but you don't always know how to find those things or get into that. It's not like you can just say what's something you find very interesting that you love to think a lot about and want to explore right now. If you said that to
Mhm.
somebody, they would be like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about, dude?
Hmm. Most of
Um,
the time, it should come organically, um, but most of the time, it doesn't happen organically. You have to like bring it up, or have the intention to. I'm already thinking stuff in my head all the time, so having it's like a constant conversation with myself.
yeah,
So having it with someone else is just more pleasing, you know. But it's not something that takes a lot of energy, or is weird,
mm.
or I don't know. I was yesterday eating with some friends, and gun control came
Oof,
up.
oof.
um, and I was like ready. I was like, you know, there's so much to talk about in here, like so many
Yeah,
different ways to approach it, and so many
it's so
consequences,
complicated.
and it's
It's
so
so
complicated.
complicated. Yeah,
But it just became so binary.
right.
So I was like, I guess I can't um,
That's a rough.
really
Yeah,
express myself. Yeah.
yeah. That is such a mass.
You,
That's a massive rough one, man.
I
Man,
guess these types of conversations are sort of a blessing, to be in the same channel as someone else, and be able to just exchange information for 2 hours in a
yeah.
non-personal manner, and in a curiosity intention.
Right. Yeah, like a goal, something that I would love to see as a result of this channel, if it's quote unquote successful, as in like it will achieve the goal that I'm about to say. I hope that people comment and say stuff like, "Hey, I started having 2 hour long conversations with some random people. It's been
Mhm.
great." Just that. Like,
Just that is great, for
we've
sure.
started, check out our channel, we do the same thing, because that's what it's about. It's not like,
Yeah,
I want to know that people are doing it because it's important, I think. And we've talked
exactly.
about why before, but it's weird. Yeah, it's like, I got back to disco with my video. I need to figure out why that happens.
Yeah.
um I wonder
So
why. um
you wonder why.
I wonder why, dude. I always wonder why, man. I'm like it. I never grew out of why.
It's a great
But I guess
wonder.
this is a good thing. I
Why?
guess it's a good thing. At in school, you sometimes do
Mhm.
like mock debates. You know, you sometimes argue in English class or whatever the class is. You might have a mock argument where you talk about either side or whatever.
Mhm, mhm.
But that's maybe, I don't know. I maybe can remember doing that 5 times, or I don't even know, like maybe less. Uh, did you have a lot of long form dialogue between people in your school, or with encouraged by
I did.
teachers, or
Yeah, I in high school I had a great teacher, literature teacher,
yeah,
and and yeah, she really made us think
yeah,
and and discuss. And she kind of lit up that sort of curiosity that's needed to um, explore ideas.
hmm,
Um, yeah, I had a couple of great teachers that introduced me to philosophy and great literature.
yeah. That's what it's
The
about. That's what school should be about.
Mostly in the when I studied theater and went into like Greek mythology
Yeah,
and Shakespeare and the traditional um, dramatic texts,
yeah,
I guess that really influenced me to, the classics, go into the classics and try to and have like 3 hour circle discussions where the teacher was mediating
nice.
everything we understood and the symbols and the stories
Yeah.
and yeah,
You
I
know,
would say
that's
so.
that's one of the cool things about theater class, is because it's
Hmm.
kind of the least regulated class. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
exactly.
like
It's like you're off
there's
the grid.
yeah, it's
It's
like there's
like
some curriculum, but it's not like you got to get through these things. They got to write an essay. Like there's some history, and obviously, there's a lot of technical stuff you could get into, and kind of, all the different names. But if you but that's a class where you're allowed to do something like that. You could have like a 3 hour long form discussion,
yeah.
and that's very true. And I encourage, hopefully everyone can do that in theater class.
And we could probably do something like that in here where um, I just know, just thought about this, but if we maybe, well, like we did with Tawai,
Mm-hmm.
maybe do with something else, some other long form conversation that we both consume, and then we can discuss about that
Yeah.
or a movie or a book or whatever, just or some other mind. Like
Right.
let's start to um, some turns my kind of lecture that we
Yeah.
both kind of re re-explore
Yep.
and then discuss over that. That could be nice.
Yeah, totally. What would be cool is if we set kind of like ground rules for length of time. So maybe like a 20 minutes of audio, or one or two chapters of a book, or so it's
Mm,
not too aggressive and we don't like peter out. Setting our goals low, as we talked about in the last Spoken Openness podcast, which you can
totally.
listen to and watch 5% of as it jitters through on the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Um,
it's okay.
I had a
Part of
question.
the learning curve. Yeah,
I had a question for you. Uh,
bring it on.
it's weird to really emphasize for. Um, you have not been using your phone as much. You've been trying to get off the phone, which is cool, and I'm jealous of that, of your success, I guess, in doing that.
It's a failure attempt, I
Okay,
must say.
you're attempting, and that's what's great.
Fail attempt. Yeah.
Um, have you noticed anything different in your thoughts? Are you exploring ideas more throughout the day? Or because I find that, like, 15% of my thoughts are related to my phone, probably more
Hmm.
related
Hmm.
to checking it. Where is it? Looking at the battery, just scrolling through random pages of social media, or
Yeah.
and that occupies. So you don't have to think about anything. You can avoid.
But
Uh,
the thing is, I can't. I'm
yeah,
constantly behind on stuff every time I go back to the cell phone.
right.
So what I've been getting out of is that I don't have those 5 to 10 minutes where you go and see what's going on and then you put it back and it feels like nothing much was taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you add up those 5 to 10 minutes, that's probably like an hour a day of just
Right.
um, being there.
So
But
you're batching it. You're doing like a long sesh.
no, I just sit down and then I have like pending text messages and like
Yeah.
stuff I didn't see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like a 30-minute phone thing, and then I try to not go back. But it's mostly about not multitasking. I guess that's it. So
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be using the phone, then I have like 30 minutes for that or 20 or whatever it takes. But then I try to focus for at least an hour on something else and not check the phone. But it's crazy. It also makes me more anxious because maybe someone could have texted or
Yeah.
called or
What's
um,
happened?
my phone doesn't have the vibration thing inside of it. So it's just, and the speaker is not that loud.
Yeah.
So I constantly have missed calls
Yeah.
but it's not all good. But I guess it's better to be able to focus on something for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love missing calls unless it's like Amazon and they're trying to deliver something at my door or something like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I
Yeah.
love missing calls, dude. Calls stress me out for some reason. I don't know
Me
why.
too. Yeah. Well, it's someone feeling that they can contact you and their time on demand. Like it's like
Yeah.
I get that feeling like, oh, you think I could attend the call right now? Why? Why do you think I could do
Except
that
for
right now?
how often are
Except I
you
could.
except how often are you holding it and you're like, "Oh, I don't want to pick this up
Yeah,
even
I
though
don't
I
want to.
could."
Hmm.
You're so
But it's also
rebellious, dude.
because maybe you're not ready because there's a possibility that you're gonna get surprised or something.
Right.
I like to be the one that calls with an intention in mind and some kind of a plan for what the call is gonna achieve.
Yeah, prepare
Um,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Communication is hard on cell phones.
Yeah.
I think because um, you don't have a lot of extra information just the voice.
It's also
It's
necessary though now. We're so interconnected, everything's so immediate. It's like you can't escape it anymore, you know? It's you got to be in it if you're in 2.0 society, you know what I mean? Coin that phrase right now. You're going to see it everywhere.
yeah.
Uh
2.0 society. Is that becoming a
no.
thing?
Please no.
Okay.
Please no. I'm going to make t-shirts 2.0. So I have a question
So,
because I want to design and implement new habits and make some changes. I'm in that mode right now where I'm
again,
like, yes, dude.
nice.
But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do some changes. I'm gonna make some changes. I'm gonna make
What do
them.
you think? What do you think is the one change that could bring
All
more
right.
change?
As always, there's still I need to get up at the same time early in the morning, but that's rough because I feel rough in the morning. I gotta figure sleep out. But the
Me
other thing
too.
is,
Yeah. And even
I
mhm,
have a
mhm.
question for you.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Should I meditate for 20 minutes in the morning? All right. Or 5 times, 5 minutes, 4 times a day, peppered out throughout the day. So I'm working. I'm in the mode where it's all about next thing, distractions.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Hear me out, and then so you make the practice about stopping that, and then going to the breath, making it about
Mhm.
the practice of peppering it out throughout the day instead of just in the morning where you're already kind of, your mind is already, you're waking up from sleep. So there's a little bit of like, I got to get this done, I got to do this. But in
Yeah.
general, I'm usually tired, and it's easier for me to meditate in the morning because easier. It's just more, it's just, I don't have as much shit
Mhm.
in my
Mhm.
immediate consciousness. What do you
Sure.
think of that hypothesis?
So would you say you have a greater issue with consistency or the actual process of quieting the mind? Which one weighs more?
Uh,
Which one?
Probably consistency. Probably consistency. The problem is
Me too,
initiating
yeah.
it.
Hmm.
If I'm sitting down, I can get myself to be like, all right, body scan, check it out, see what's going on. I can do the process. I can get myself in there, I can get going. And it's
Yeah.
usually rough. It's usually rough. I usually catch myself and I'm thinking, and I have a thought stream, and it's been 30 seconds. I go, all right, go back. And it's
Okay,
usually
so
bad.
I would say, because I wanna start something like that as well,
Yeah.
because I need to get the consistency back. So I'm fine, like even doing like sitting down for 40 minutes and just chilling and
Yeah.
being there, just sitting,
Yeah.
allowing it the time to go by, and
Right.
but then the next day I don't do anything
I
because
know.
it also helps clear. It also helps to have. It brings clarity. So I'm like the next. For me, meditation really works. So when I do like an hour,
Yeah.
I feel great,
Yeah.
and I feel like this is what I have to do because
The same thing
it's
happens with exercise. The same thing happens with after you
yeah,
go
true.
running, you get back, you're like, woo!
Yeah,
You got the
yeah,
dopamine
yeah.
and the norepinephrine. You're feeling good.
Chemistry
Oxytocin,
changes energy.
one of
Mm,
those. You feel good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's better to do a tiny thing for 1,000 days than to do 1,000 different things in one day. Did that make sense?
Confucius.
Yeah. Um, there's an exact quote that someone
Yeah.
owns,
Google it.
quotes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is, it could
I
be even
agree with
better
that. I agree
to,
with that. I agree with that.
um, the guitar metaphor. If you don't tune your guitar in a month, and then you tune it once a month, may take a little longer than if you just do some minor adjustment every day, just just tiny bit every day, and then you don't have to spend like 10 minutes tuning the thing because it's already completely out of tune
I
in
don't
three
know.
months.
Tuning a guitar is so quick, but yeah, I get it.
But it's, would you agree that
Tuning
it's,
my mind takes a lifetime.
yeah, but would you agree that it would be better to meditate 10 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night and do it consistent for 3 months than to try to have 5 times in the day where you're gonna sit down for 5 minutes and then you try to find that every day, you may quit sooner.
All right, I agree. What about 5 minutes every hour?
That's crazy. You can't. I would bet that you wouldn't do that for 2 weeks.
That's true. Although I would bet that if you did that, you would be more productive in those 55 minutes before and afterwards.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the thing is, I feel like it's gonna do more if I can do it once or a couple times in the day while the monkey mind is in full zone, full
Yeah.
control.
Mhm. It also you could become too self-aware if you start suddenly meditating a lot, and then demons could appear and they could express themselves and be like, "Hey, you're peeling some layers out, so be careful, you know?"
I'm not worried about that.
Okay, nice. I am, bro. I'm worried about the demons, yeah.
um So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do 10 minutes in the morning.
Nice. I like 11. I don't know why. It just
11.
makes it, I like the 11 time frame.
Wow. I'm gonna do 7:30.
Nice.
I'm gonna do 10 minutes at 7:30, or here's my caveat: if I wake up earlier, I do it when I wake up.
No, I didn't say 11 a.m. Say 11 minutes.
Oh, 11 minutes. I thought you wanted to do it at 11 a.m.
No, no. Instead of doing 10 minutes, I've always done just 11. I like
All right.
yeah.
It gives you 30 seconds on the front and the back end to kind of like to go in and come out.
No, no, no. My app has a pre-start time, like
Yeah.
preparation, like a minute, and then it starts. So you set
Preparation.
it, and then
Does a
and then
beep go off?
you set the preparation so that if you're using if you're whatever you need to do, so that when the timer starts, you're already like you're not setting the cushion or sitting
Yeah, yeah,
down.
yeah. Does anything happen when the actual timer starts? Do you get a sound
Yeah, a little cling,
like a chime?
like a chime.
I like that.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that a
and there's like 10 different ones.
nice?
Some are more Buddhist, some are
Yeah.
more like
I
quartz,
like the
this
dubstep
quartz
one.
thing. What's the dubstep
I
one?
know. Can you imagine?
Nice.
Your
Nice,
meditation
nice.
starts with boom, 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 boom. Just
And
heavy dubstep.
and how long would the dubstep be? Like 30 seconds and then you start?
3 minutes. A full song. Um, all right, so I'm gonna do 10 minutes. I'm not gonna do the 11-minute thing. That's your thing. Even
That's
though
my
it sounds cool, dude. I like it. I wish
nice.
I had a thing. I wish I was like, I do 12 minutes. It's my number.
It's not my number.
I'm
It's
gonna do
not at
10.
all my number.
I'm
It's
gonna do
not.
10 minutes because 10 is everything. I always get confused with numerology. 9 always seems like everything, but 10 is always like
No,
everything too. It's like what?
no, 11 is a
No,
is
it's
the
not.
last. Yeah.
No, it's not.
After
11.
in most numerology systems, 11 is 11, and then 12, you usually add it up to 3.
We can go into this another
We could
time.
argue this for
But
sure.
well, I don't
Yeah.
know enough. I don't know enough, so I can't.
Me neither. Me
I
neither.
I uh, I will go back to the chapter in Manly P. Hall's Secret Teachings of All Ages, and I'll get into that breakdown of numerology. So I'm gonna do 10 minutes in the morning, and then I'm gonna do 5 minutes at like 2 o'clock,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's much needed.
Yeah,
That's when craziness begins,
probably
usually.
after lunch, maybe.
Hmm. Although, if not right after you have lunch,
Maybe
that wouldn't be
before
a great
eating.
idea.
Before eating, I'm gonna do it right before eating, while I'm working. Right before, and then I'm gonna eat, super conscious,
Hmm.
aware of what I'm putting in my body.
Nice. So you make the eating a meditation too.
Yeah, I'll visualize the assimilation of the nutrients into my
Yeah,
body as it becomes me.
yeah.
Uh,
I want to do like shift meditation into something fun. Um, like
like what do you?
drumming. I want to like grab my shamanic drum and like stick with a rhythm for
Yeah,
10 minutes and
repetition.
try to yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to sell an accordion so I can buy a harmonium. I really want a harmonium, dude.
Nice.
I just
Dude, a
want to. I
harmonium,
want
yeah.
a constant sound and just
Mm,
get into it. Do some. I want to.
yeah, I want a gong. I'm actually saving for a gong.
Are you? I want to freak my neighbors out.
Dude, I want a gong so bad. I want to
Why a
have like
gong though? It runs out. You're gonna keep hitting it.
yeah, yeah, for an hour, bro. I'm just gong bath and then go to sleep like vibrating.
Gong
It's
bath.
nice. Yeah. Look into that, bro. It's a whole thing. It's awesome, bro.
Um,
Yeah.
I have a
But
question. I have a question
we could
for
argue
you.
that gong is the god of instruments. It's
No.
like, dude, yes, yes, the
Can I?
gong.
I have a question. I have a question for you.
You have so many questions for me today. I have a question for you after your question for me.
Okay, my question
Yeah,
is,
bring it on.
it could be long, it could be short. Deal with it how you will. Do what thou willst.
Nice. I will.
Uh, can you tell me some of the main takeaways from your Kundalini experiences? Can you go into maybe some of the things that you noticed throughout the practice, and could you tell me maybe some of the things you miss about it? And thirdly, what are some things you have kept intention to incorporate into your life?
Hmm. I guess the one thing that really makes a difference in the Sikh lifestyle,
Yeah.
the Western Sikh lifestyle, the 3HO Kundalini yoga. Dude, Russell Brand is starting to make Kundalini
I
yoga
know, dude. I
tutorials in
see
his
those.
channel, and to be honest, he's not a precise teacher and a good teacher in the
Yeah.
kriyas.
Yeah.
But it's great that he's making it available for a large audience. That's great. He's
He
also
loves
very
the
fanatic
identity.
about it, and
Yeah. He
his
loves the
technique.
identity.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's
That's okay.
that's okay. Um, I don't want to go into the negative constructive
Yeah.
criticism.
Right.
The main one will be fanatism, but that's like another story.
Okay.
The good takeaways are the morning routine discipline, and especially an early morning routine, like 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
The the health tools. I'm sorry about that. That was my
It's
phone,
okay.
not on silence. I apologize. They have great tools for health. Um, Ishnan, the cold water, the cold shower tradition,
Yeah.
um, that's great. That really makes a difference to like wake up early, 4:30 a.m., have a cold shower, and then chant
Yeah.
in that time, like pre-sunrise. That's really a great experience. And I would
Mm-hmm.
say music and chanting makes meditation easier, fuller.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different experience than other
Yeah.
that like there's a lot of ways to meditate, but for me, I just discovered that music is extremely healing, and that the process of chanting and equalizing yourself and finding your own harmony,
Mm-hmm.
and the repetition of the ancient Gurmukhi texts,
Mm-hmm.
it really powers up your brain and your verbal fluency, and it really stimulates the cognitive ability. I'm sure it's a great workout for the brain to, repeat the
Yeah.
the words. Yeah.
Would
Also,
you say that that um, chanting and music meditation is more like running a specific program that you want to run in the brain, as opposed to say mindfulness meditation or concentration meditations, which are more on seeing what's there and
sorry.
uncovering current state? It's more
Mhm.
purpose oriented.
Yeah, well, we don't. There's a Kriya that's called one of I think it's the first one that Russell Brand
Yeah.
put out there. It's called ego dissolution,
Yeah.
and just the name of it kind of pulls me back. Just it doesn't actually dissolve the ego,
Yeah.
but I don't know why they name it that. Also, they have a lot of names for Kriyas that are supposed to be very specific. Like if you do this exercise, you can heal your stomach cramps, or
Mm-hmm.
like they have really specific exercises. which the argument is that after so many years of experimentation
Yeah.
and failure and just passing the knowledge down
Yeah.
the families, that they found out that these different exercises are good for different specific stuff. Not a believer on that,
I'm gonna
but
do a quick, just while we're talking about this, to the rational skeptics out there. I'm gonna do a little thing here. I'm gonna say, listen, all right, let's say that these guys thousands of years ago, they came up with this thing and they just trial and error, like the myth and this narrative that we're hearing from this guy right now. He's telling us that they uncovered these secret ways to heal ourselves. All right, let's just take a step back and say, hold on. Let's just say, imagine. All right, let's get rid of the specific words that you're repeating, or the specificities to the chants that supposedly have
and the
different
meaning,
effects on the
yeah.
body, and the meaning. No, but hold the meaning. The point is, you are sitting down and you're repeating what you think is going to have an effect on you over and over again with the intention of it to have that effect. I call that using the placebo effect at will, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
I think so, regardless of whether or not there's some innate part of these chants that unlock whatever chakra or whatever energy system in the body, I don't think that we should throw away the notion that having an intention and repeating something for the purpose that you design it for, I don't think we should throw that away. I think it's super fascinating, and I think that we shouldn't throw away what could be there just because it doesn't seem like we could take an effect and weigh it on a scale and poke it around and look at it with a microscope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
I actually think that's a very, very contemporary problem that we are facing as a society. As rationalist point of view, you may think that you could just take away all the ancient wisdom that is not supported by a materialist scientific view.
Yeah.
But my thing is you can't take that away. You just can't, or you can, but you can't expect it the actual findings of science to substitute all the ancient wisdom that permeates society, because it's not archaic. Like, it's embedded in the game, I'd say. So what I'm saying is, we have a lot of understanding on consciousness.
Not really, though.
The understanding, even if it's little in the big picture comparison, I totally get it. But I think the understanding that we have is because there's books and texts and traditions that testify to thousands of years of people that sat down to reflect and meditate and think about what experience is.
Right.
And that has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, it's like the longest qualitative research project of all time on the human condition.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, think about if you gave, how many Buddhists are there? How many Sikhs are there? And then count up the generations over the last X number of years and other spiritual traditions and imagine there was a scientific project that handed out a pamphlet to them and for thousands of years asked them about, what do you think consciousness is? What do you think life is? Why do you think you suffer? What does attachment mean? All of this stuff. Imagine the scientific community would be like right now it would be peer reviewed. It would have this insane we would respect it scientifically. Well, that's what all this stuff is in my mind. In my mind, these
Yeah.
are a massive survey research, like conclusions of
Hmm.
millions of people over
Over.
a massive amount of time.
Mhm.
Um,
And it's hard to know what that massive amount of time means.
yeah,
It's hard to comprehend what that actually means. It's a lot of history and
yeah,
um, but
and
I also appreciate the fact that there's extreme rationalist people trying to have a solid foundation
yeah,
for morality
right.
or consciousness. But I don't think it can all be based on solid non-abstract stuff. I think
Oh,
abstraction
right.
is is highly needed to delve into this.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, science is super
Yeah.
good at what is the stuff? What is this what's the stuff? And all of
Mhm.
these traditions are kind of really good at what does it feel like reality is?
Subjective stuff.
What
Totally, yeah.
uh you know, what is it like being a human being? And you can answer that
Mm. Oh,
uh
10,
nine,
9, 8,
eight, seven,
7, 6,
six, five,
5,
four,
4, 3,
three,
2,
two, and
1. And
one.
this episode is sponsored
Buy coffee.
by coffee. We're back.
Hey, what's
Thanks
up?
everyone for the 10 minutes, 10 seconds actually. Okay.
So I have a question for
Hmm,
you.
hmm. And dude, I was gonna mention perception.
Mm-hmm.
I think science can help understand perception, but I don't think it can help understand the essence of consciousness. I hope so. We don't know.
Yeah, everything helps. Everything's got to come together. Everything in
Yeah,
this world has got to come together
right now.
right now.
Well, right. It's always right now. Okay, here's a question. No, well, you were gonna, but no, it's wait. It's my turn for a question.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, or can you hold your question?
I can hold it. I can hold it. Yeah.
Except if my question means that we need to
Segue.
go segue, then we can
What's your
go.
question about? What's the topic?
It's related. It's related. Do
I'll.
you feel meditation helps you?
So it's related to my question. Yeah, keep going.
Do you think it helps you be more present in the way that you're aware of right now and
Yeah.
you are more yourself right now?
Yeah.
Because my late experience with meditation is I become I become not who I am, but who I am going to be. So I'm constantly meditating on changes I need to make, or it's more of a reflect. The word is more reflecting,
Yeah.
but I feel like that that's also why I like my meditations to have some kind of repetition
Right.
and a single focus flow, because otherwise I need to give my mind some activity. The simpler the activity, I think, the better, but it's not always that
Yeah.
simple. I think just focusing on breath, it's a very simple activity that demands a lot of practice to achieve
Yeah.
without getting distracted.
Mm.
Um, but thoughts will always arrive. Thoughts will always like new
Dude, yeah, there's so many.
sensations and thoughts and
Yeah.
feelings and body things and little tickling, and it's
Yeah.
always something that. And I don't feel like when I'm meditating I'm training to be more present and to be
Dude,
it's yeah it
here's the thing. Here's what I'll say.
to be exact with the question is,
Yeah.
do you feel,
Like it helps me be more present.
or
Or
is your experience more like my late experience where I've instead of becoming more myself right now, I am who I'm going to be.
I don't quite
Does
get
that
that.
make
I'm gonna
sense?
answer. Here's what's gonna happen
I
here.
could I could I could
Here's
elaborate because it's complex, but
can you hold on to that part of the question? I'm gonna answer the first part of your question,
please.
and then I'm gonna ask you to toss me that second question.
Nice.
This is what I feel. So I'm focusing on the breath, on heartbeat and breath concentration meditation right now. I do like just a quick walkthrough. I'm doing like a couple breaths with my eyes open, taking in the whole scene. So and then slowly I go sense by sense, and then I check it out, and then I move past it. So
And
I
do
go
you
with
incorporate some Wim Hof?
no, not so no. If that could be
Not anymore.
that could be
You.
a part of like the regimen, but for just the
Mhm.
meditation thing,
Okay, okay.
I'm going eyes open, couple breaths, and I'm closing my eyes. So that's the end of the visual. I try to stop going on the visual. Then I go right to audio. I try to see all the clouds of the sounds that are happening around. Every single sound, I just let it pass by, get a picture of the sound, and then I let that float away. And
Okay.
then if there's anything, if I cooked or anything, then I go smell, but usually, or taste, but usually there's not much going on there. And then I let that pass. And then I do a body scan just to see what's going on, starting at the top of the head. I try to get a good picture. And this could take me like 2 minutes because I get distracted a lot in this section already. I might
Okay.
make it to here, and then I go, and then I think about something else, or I hear a sound again, and I go off, and then I say, God damn it, and then I start again. So I go back to the top. So I don't let myself go past until I've done a full scan, top to bottom, fully aware, feeling the sensation without, letting that go.
Are you consciously doing that because you're an actor and that also helps to stay in touch with, uh, body scanning and
Kind of, but I think um, I just get so used to sitting in a certain way. I don't realize what domino effects are happening in posture, and
yeah.
and then afterwards, usually after I meditate, I'll do like a couple stretches because I now know exactly what I need to do, because I wasn't fully aware. I might have just had like a background unawareness feeling of like, oh, something's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So I do that, and then I try to go to the breath, and I'm just trying to see what's going on with the breath. Sometimes I'll go in the counting the breaths, and then I'm just checking out what thoughts are coming in. If I get distracted, I try to go back to the breath. And the thing is, I don't think it's making, to get to your question now, I don't think that in that moment I'm necessarily becoming I'm super present, but to a specific thing, to my breath, and trying to notice the thoughts that are happening. However, if I it's like practice. It's like practicing scales on the guitar to play a song. It's like I'm trained. It's like I'm starting the muscle so that when I'm not meditating, I can go, oh yeah, go back, connect to the breath, and then I can connect to the breath, and then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa. Like if I'm doing dishes, all of a sudden I notice the temperature of the water more. I like see more zoomed in onto the plate. I calm down a bit. I slow my speed. I see, I can concentrate more. I notice what's out the window. So it's like the meditation is doing scales. It's that practice that afterwards I can play the song. And the song is trying to be present and aware of, what I'm doing. What am I doing right now? And to be able to be conscious about that. So I guess that's how I'm conceptualizing how the meditation is benefiting me right now in my practice. That's what I'm trying to use it for. The more I can in the day remind myself or connect to the breath and get back into that mindset, the better, the closer I am to what I want to be, to who I want to be, which is segue into part two of the question.
And I feel like it's the same question.
Yeah.
Not part one and part two, but you just answered it.
Okay.
Precisely. I'm having the I'm having a different experience. I wish I could be more present and have my sensory system more attuned to what's happening right now and be more sensitive.
Yeah.
Um, I do get that out of meditation, but usually what happens is that I have more of a clear and actionable storyline for the near future. That's maybe, I think that's what I meant when I say like I'm not who I am right now in this moment,
Hmm.
in the being here and now
Yeah.
and experiencing the present moment without much
Right.
mental process going on. It actually powers up the mental process, but in a good way, in a clear and specific way,
Right.
so that I have less stress about what I'm doing because I know it's the right thing to do.
So you kind of
But it's
use it as
also
like
it's
a designing workshop.
but I'm not thinking while I meditate.
Yeah.
I'm focusing and trying to keep focus and training myself to keep focus.
Yeah.
But I think that the consequence and the result is more of a future oriented mindset than a present mindset. Does that make sense?
Kind of it
Um,
makes sense. I mean, part
maybe it's both. Maybe
yeah.
I'm kind of dividing it,
Yeah.
because it also helps me not multitask, which is
Yeah.
um, being more present also and using more of um, your mental ability in one thing
Right.
and not kind of dividing it
Yeah, it
with and
totally helps.
distractions are yeah.
Yeah. I think what happens is after I've meditated, I'll get up, I'll fold blanket or whatever I'm sitting on. I'll maybe go get some water, but I try to hold on as long as I can. I try to hold on to the state where I notice the thought and then I'm able to my awareness has more observing awareness has more willpower. So I have more ability to in the moment react to my environment in ways that I want. So
Mm.
I'll recognize I'm a little thirsty. I'm gonna get some water instead of just automatically thinking about it, getting something.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I can consider what I should do after I get the water, and try to maintain that
Hmm.
state. So, but then after maybe 5 minutes, it's rolled away, and I'm back into automation, and
Yeah.
I've lost it. But I try to hold on, and so that's I think um,
That's why you
it's
want to do like
hard.
five
Yeah,
minutes, the first 5 minutes of every hour,
I'm not gonna
sit
do that.
down. I think that'll be a great experiment to do for a week,
Yeah.
but it's a very hard one.
This is what I
Um,
would do. Every hour, I would do 20 push ups, 20 sit ups, 5 minutes of meditation every hour. Can you imagine? That would be so good. And I feel like if you did that, you'd reset what am I working on? What am I trying to achieve? Am I multitasking? How can I approach this differently? Is it
mm.
working? Uh, and
So,
you
yeah,
could maximize your
yeah, yeah. I guess I have right now, I have three types of meditations that I sporadically
yeah.
do. The first one is the focusing on the breath and allowing mind to happen.
Right.
But as I was saying, that kind of orders the mind and leaves clarity for just to have a very oriented and clear productivity um, structure. It,
Yeah.
it's more oriented towards that. But I've been trying to spend Sundays on the forest, and I see that as a meditation, and that that's way different. That grounds me, brings me to the present moment, allows me to have moments where I'm just looking at the branches move with the wind, and I feel like a small satori happened, like
Yeah, yeah.
just did had a had a
100%.
window there.
Yeah.
And then when I pick up the guitar and try to sing, I feel that's like that's on the emotional level. Like, sometimes I get teary eyes,
Hmm.
and like more of an emotional outlet there.
Yeah.
It's those three are the what I've been exploring recently. But I need to pick one and do it every day. That's what I'd say.
This is what I would like to do. I don't know if I can do it every day, but I want to do the mindfulness concentration meditation is like clearing the cobwebs, throwing out the rotten food in the kitchen, and then sometimes, I don't know how often or how I want to design it, I want to do a couple that's putting some fresh veggies in the fridge, putting the new stuff in the repainting where the cobweb
Yeah.
was, putting the right thing. So I want to I'm going to dissolve, I'm going to make massive um,
Hmm. What happened?
massive generalizations. I was looking for a word.
Okay.
Massive. I'm going to make massive generalizations. It's not the right word, but I'm going to compartmentalize different meditations into really to like super simple. I'm going to do mindfulness, and then I need to find times to do whatever the other one is called, repetition of some kind.
Hmm.
And I'm going to figure out, I don't know what it's going to be. It's hard because the minute I want to do repetition is the only things I know are like ekonkar, or like something that's grounded in a tradition that I don't necessarily want to feel like I'm trying to be a part of, but but I also don't want to like just make up something and then feel like an idiot repeating something that I
I would say
designed.
you've been doing that with your live music streams. I'd say that's that. Even
No,
though
I
it's
don't think
more of
so.
an
I don't think so.
improv exploration, it's
Yeah.
not like a long, constant repetition. But you could do it with rhythm or with a guitar or
Right,
like.
right. So I guess it could be some, as long as it's something that I repeat though,
Yeah.
because definitely like the stream, I'm always thinking about what am I going to do next? How can I build
Yeah.
this? What's the next thing?
Mhm.
And the practice of this type of meditation or whatever, it's got to be, you can't think about what happens next. It's like
Yeah.
it's just you and
Because you're in the flow
you're
of
in the
the.
flow, you're in the flow, you're in the flow. You're in the
Yeah.
flow, you're in the flow. So
But you don't want it to be something. You want it to be something yours.
man, I think I just might, but then that's also just an ego thing. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
another
because what's
ego thing going
yours?
like, no,
Yeah.
the thing that's the part of me that's judging wanting to use a something that like Ekonkar, something that's already written, that's like an ancient thing. It's like an ego thing for me to also be like, ooh, that's part of a tradition, and I don't want to. I don't know. I just should do. I know it. It's something I can repeat. The one thing I will say is I like that it's not in English, so
Hmm.
I don't have any of the baggage that's associated subconsciously with the words or
Yeah.
expectations. I
Or
also
you could do
it's also
something. Yeah.
just quickly, it's
Hmm.
also, it could be a better container for uh, putting meaning on it because it's not in
Yeah.
English. So you could use the translation and try to memorize that, or you could just
Hmm.
apply your own thing and have an intention and then make that week or that day, or
Yeah.
because I think that's where the magic happens. And I haven't been able to do it where I repeat the thing, but as I'm repeating it, I'm also maintaining the awareness of the meaning but also not be distracted by that, but keep it going, and then be absorbed in it all, but also maintain the meaning of it and carry that on. I think that's where the mix happens, where there's magic. I haven't reached that yet. I haven't been like you at 4 in the morning, you know, rocking out to some repetition. So
But you've done some crazy, like when you got into Wim Hof method, you
I
did
went deep. Yeah, I did.
highly
Yeah,
disciplined routines,
yeah.
and I think
I
that's just is the same.
I got into some insanely heightened states
Yeah,
doing that for sure.
we need to talk
That is
about
good.
that and go deep on that some
Can
other.
I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. Can we? I'm gonna throw on just like a still image. Can we take 5? Come back.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
I'll be right back.
Awesome.
And we are back.
We are. Okay. We just took 10 minutes. Um, so we were talking about meditation and how to implement it. Um, do you feel like we're arriving into some valuable conclusion?
Uh,
We're just exchanging ideas and not really progressing into some practical and valuable, um, you know.
I think
I didn't complete my sentence. I
40%.
should complete my sentences. I'm
Me too.
sorry.
No, but I think 40% of what we're talking about is an ongoing discussion that's going to be ongoing. And
It
then
is, yeah.
another part of it, I think, is coming to an understanding of where we are now in our needs for implementing our practice that both of us feel motivated to implement.
Mhm, mhm,
I, as maybe a footnote to this discussion, or as a conclusion maybe to this topic, should we I'm gonna try to clarify my goals, I guess, or what I'm gonna get into. So I'm gonna be doing 10 minutes in the morning. Is that long? It's
mhm.
not that long. 10 minutes. Although it might be good to start low and be
Yeah.
consistent and not mess
Mhm.
up. So 10 minutes in the morning.
10 minutes will work. It wouldn't be like nothing. It will
Yeah.
work.
I'm gonna do 10 minutes in the morning, ideally 7 or 7:30. But if I don't get up at 7:30, I'll do it at that time. I'm not gonna let waking up at a different time
So first
make
thing you're
me
doing
blur
after
out.
waking up, it's going into the meditation place and doing it.
Yeah, I'll either do it after a cold shower or I'll just do it right away. Either one can happen
Okay.
depending on how I
Mm.
feel. Because the point
Okay.
of this, something that always happens when I try to start a new habit is I try to say like I'm gonna do like I try to add too many things at once. And if I don't
Hmm.
if I don't do one of the things, I throw away the whole set of things.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be very conscious
Keep
on
it
the
simple.
yeah.
Hmm.
Be very conscious on this one. It's about the meditation. If I get up at the right time that I feel like I want to get up, great. If I do it after a cold shower, cool. If I exercise,
Mm.
cool. If I do push-ups before and I do some stretching before and I do some salute to the sun, cool. If I don't, it's about the meditation. I got to do that every day. 10 minutes in the morning.
Nice.
Then I'm going to do at least 5 minutes right before I have my lunch. So I'll be in the middle of working, monkey mind. I'm going to do a nice 5 minutes. Then I'm going to eat consciously and see if I
That's
can
a great one.
carry
I
it on.
think I'm doing that too.
Nice.
Um, yeah, that's a great one. Much needed
Uh,
one.
so that's my thing. What are you gonna do? Are you doing something?
Yeah, dude, for me, I think what would really make a difference is to have extreme clarity, and I mean extreme like with capital letters, like super extreme clarity before I go to bed.
Yeah.
When I'm waking up, what time exactly,
Yeah.
and then what's the first thing I'm doing after waking up,
That's good.
um, or the first three things in order
All right.
that
Because
I'll be doing.
you're trying to do that already
Mhm.
with your Todoist or with notes. You're trying to do that at the end of the day already.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm trying to
Yeah.
like have a reset of goals and time frames. But it's
Yeah.
hard. Sometimes I feel like it's gonna like I'm too tired to do it, or I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll figure it out tomorrow as I go,
Yeah.
which ends up being a bad move. But I'm more concerned with the mornings now, because well, this morning was very crazy,
Yeah.
very changing, very unstable. But I need at least the morning stability to know when I'm waking up. But in order for me to wake up, I need to know what I'm gonna do. Otherwise, it's just a better idea to keep sleeping
Yeah.
when I'm
I
waking
agree.
up.
It's so
Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah.
so for me, it's wake up, make the bed, and I'm not very perfect at making it. I just kind of
Yeah.
yeah, I just do it badly.
Make it so you'll
And
feel guilty if you like opened
go
it
back.
again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But and I'm already like I did this,
Yeah.
and I when I'm in the process of waking up, I know that's what I have to do, and
Right.
it's super clear. So I just go through the motions and get it done. And if um, I guess for me it's like make your bed, sit down, meditate for 10, 11 minutes exactly, and then
Pretty cool,
do some
man.
kind of stretching, push-up thing, like either body weight exercise or
Yeah.
some salutations or whatever, and then I'll start the day and have some breakfast, and go into the day.
Yeah.
Um, but
Nice.
like have a very simple morning routine
Yeah.
and just wake up, do that, and see what happens.
Nice.
Um, because otherwise, if I don't have the clarity of what I need to do right after I wake up,
Yeah.
and I hope, like, I think I'm in the process of having an alarm-free waking up process, but that's gonna be very hard because I'm trying to wake up earlier.
Yeah.
And I don't usually go to bed early, so maybe I changed the system, but I've been afraid to do this, but I wanna have a go to bed alarm instead of a wake up alarm because I never sleep past 9 hours or so.
Yeah.
Um, 8 hours is like the sweet spot. Sometimes I do 7 or 6, but I wake up with alarm,
Nice.
and I think that kind of raises anxiety and doesn't help with starting the day. Even if it's a song that I like, I'll just end up hating the song.
Yeah, but
So
I think some of that is associated with your your thoughts or feelings associated with not knowing what you're doing that day and not knowing with why you're doing the stuff you're doing that day. And
yeah,
then so the alarm goes off and you're like, oh, I don't know why I'm doing today. So the alarm causes anxiety. I feel like somehow I need to rewrite my opinion of the alarm. I need to make friends with the sound. And so when it goes off, I attribute I need to figure out how to make the meditation practice the only thing that I really want to do and make it just so
do
not
you think
this.
that's possible?
I
Do you
think so.
think?
Yeah, I think it's possible. You know,
I don't think you'll ever be like, oh yeah,
yeah, I will.
meditation this morning.
Yeah, I will.
I hope so. I really hope so.
No, I think you
I
can. Why
don't
couldn't you?
because it's hard work.
Yeah, it's hard work, but if you recognize why you're doing it and you remind yourself and you add that to everything, then it could be something you look forward to, you know? That can happen with
I think it's
exercise.
closer. I think it's closer to like withstanding the suffering and like being able to go through it, but like look forward to it and enjoy it. I think that's if you're able to be there, dude, I applaud. Like you're a
Dude,
master of
I
that
think we can
thing.
get there. I
Like,
think we can get there. And I
yeah, me
think that
too. Yeah.
something, yeah, nice, nice.
But I don't see
I
it
like
near.
that.
I don't see it near. I really don't see
That's
that
okay.
happening.
That's okay. As long as I'll accept I don't see it near. I won't
You're
accept it's
you're
not
more
possible.
optimistic than I am in that regard. I do feel like meditation is like taking out the trash.
Here's the
You
reason.
don't really want to do it, but you feel good when you do it.
If I
So
don't
you look forward to do it,
I
but it's
agree.
still suffering.
If I don't if you can't design how you relate to something and how you react to something or interpret something, then there is no hope for any change in general. So
Mhm.
I have to accept the premise that
Yeah.
we're able to redesign how you react or how you interpret something. Therefore, if that premise is true and it
Yeah.
has to be true in order to make changes, then I'm going to design it so that I look forward to meditating, even though it's hard and it takes time and there's a lot of
All
resistance.
right. I don't know
I can
about the alarm, though. I don't think I'll ever make friends with the alarm.
I'm going to make friends with it. I'm going to
I
love it. Watch me.
then you please teach me because I don't think I'll be able to figure it out myself. I want to be able to wake up naturally,
Yeah.
and not have my phone tell me you need to wake up right now. Otherwise, I feel, shitty every time I snooze or something. But I wish I could just be like, hey, just woke up. Welcome to the day. Meditate.
You can do that.
Yeah, but I need to sleep early and have a nighttime routine so that I can maximize sleep quality.
Yeah.
Um,
I have to do that too.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and then I woke up naturally and refreshed and ready to tackle the day. And I'll do it, maybe that pre-night routine also involves some clarity work for the next day, so that you know what the day is about, and you design the best possible day. Um,
Nice.
yeah, it's so easy to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I think you chip away at it, you know? I think you chip away at it. You know, you
Yeah.
you do it and then you mess up and then you redesign goals and then you mess up and then you redesign
Mm.
goals and then you mess up. But slowly
You
you get
you lose
closer.
motivation, then you go into a hole, and then you're motivated to get out of the hole.
Yeah.
Uh, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think that's the constant, though. I think that's even if you make friends with meditation, I don't, maybe that's just um, for a while because it has to be challenging on some level. And I think the process of meditating involves endless challenges because you're always perfectible. So it's not easy to change. You always have to sacrifice something new, and we don't want to sacrifice anything. We don't want to kill a part of ourselves.
mhm.
Um, and if you do want to, because you're highly motivated and determined to change, then it won't be easy for sure.
Mhm.
Um, so what does that make you change uh, the that feeling a little bit that you're able to like be happy to meditate every day? You can get there. I
No,
don't
I
know.
don't think I'll ever be at a place where every single time it's like I'm looking forward to it and I'm excited about it. I think what I'm talking about is on average,
Hmm.
I'm going to I will be able to redesign my automatic response. And there's going to be fluctuations and there's going to be variables and things are going to affect me, but how you react to something is just as much a formed habit as anything else.
Yeah.
And there's no more truth to how you react to something than if you reacted to it a different way. There's no inherent truth in a reaction. There's only what you've learned. And so I think if that's true, and I'm pretty sure that that's true, it's not debatable, then it means that you can put something else there or you can change that.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I
So
agree.
so that's all
Mhm.
I'm saying is I am going to do a better
And
job at putting, even if I don't want to. If I get up and I go, "Oh, I hate that alarm," at the same time I'm going to throw
mm,
in, "Nice, I'm
yeah.
excited to do this." Even if I'm saying
Mhm.
that and I don't really maybe there's a fake it till you make it element.
I get it. Totally. And in a sense, that's pretty much all you can control is your reaction to stuff. Oh,
We lost.
oh, we lost it again. Okay, so I guess I will do this. Hello,
Hey.
I'm back.
I'm Are you feeling a slight dip in energy?
Little bit,
Are
little
we
bit. Yeah.
maybe
It's
slowing
also
down?
getting dark. and my energy is going down with the sun right now.
Yeah. I think I like going into the podcast earlier in the morning, I think.
Yeah, today wasn't good for that,
That's all
but
good.
it at least serves to understand that earlier the better,
Yeah. It was
that has to do with the creativity thing and order of tackling work that we
yeah.
were discussing last episode.
Yeah.
This is highly creative and also mind energy consuming.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
we
because
should
we're
tackle it earlier.
I think it's because we're attempting to create it's we're attempting to create, not to just output. I think
Hmm.
that's why it takes more energy. A lot of conversation is just output. But I
Yeah.
think what I'm trying to do is to generate new ideas based on the back and forth and on the input, which is the fun of it all. I had a quick thought on
Mm.
creativity. I'm trying to do a lot of work on like it's a lot of design work. I'm not really a designer, but I don't have the money to pay for somebody to do like design stuff for the company I'm working on.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think that because it's creative, um, there's that inherent feeling where uh, I'm worried that the time that I'm working on the design is a waste of time because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not the best at
Mhm.
it. I'm kind of exploring, and that it takes a lot of time, especially like website design. It could take like 4 hours, and you just figured out how to get a button to work with a link or something like that, and you're
Yeah.
like, that took so long. Um,
Hmm.
so I think a large part of the meditation that's going to help me is allow myself to not succumb to the anxiety driven future think patterns and allow myself to just be there and take the time to try designs, you know, work through templates, try to work out, because a lot of it's also like a super creative thing trying to design workflows for the company, packages, design of services, specifics
Yeah.
of deliverables. It's very creative and trying to make sure that I do it right because what I'm
Yeah, and
creating is very unique.
also could become an endless activity.
Yeah.
I'd
So
say I've been struggling with the same thing with my the website redesign
yeah.
for my company and the client now member experience
Right.
design. What I've been trying to do is do the essential and then have a break
Yeah.
because it's always perfectible and always um, but I'd say focus on what gets you selling as soon as possible. The
That's a good
basic
idea.
stuff you need so that you're putting the company out there as soon as possible,
Yeah.
and start having a beta
Yeah.
phase with some members and also having a relationship where you ask them what and how could be bettered.
Yeah.
Did I word
I
that
think that's
correctly?
true. How something could be bettered. I think that's yeah.
Yeah, because I feel and I think the basic premise is don't let perfect be the enemy of a good enough.
Yeah. I got to think
It's
0.1. I got to think zero
Mhm,
point 0.1,
exactly.
not
And
1.0.
when you're there, you start to like make
Yeah.
some promo, put it out there,
That's a
see
good
how
idea.
people react, and once if the the business model is good or if or and valuable, people will respond and you'll have some cash flow, and then you can
Yeah.
maybe instead of doing the whole DIY WordPress thing, if you really
Yeah.
enjoy it, but maybe you can hire some coder that does it for you and start, delegating some stuff and
Yeah.
because it's all if you don't want to waste time and energy doing something, you can always pay for it
Yeah.
and but if you don't have cash flow, then you have to do it yourself. But if you're doing it yourself, you can focus on selling,
Yeah.
which you should be focusing on. It's crazy.
So that it is, man. So that
But that helps in any way. I've been struggling with that, and
yeah, that mindset,
I
that just quickly, that mindset of whatever's going to get you to be selling first and think zero point 0.1, not 1.0. I'm going to input that meaning into a chant that I know, and I'm going to do it one time this week. I'm going to
nice like
put
an
that on.
affirmation,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. I
hate
used to
I
think
hate the
that
word affirmation so much, dude.
it's,
I
it's
hate it
very
so
woo
much, man.
woo. Yeah, I know, I know. But I think affirmation works.
You are
Affirmations.
rich. You are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh God.
It gives that connotation. But mantras
Um,
are just affirmations, and
yeah.
it's what you exactly what you said, using the placebo effect to your own benefit on demand.
Yeah.
It's like hacking placebo.
Yeah. Um,
But yeah, dude, I used to think that it needed to, like, the company needed to be perfect because otherwise I'll just like burn bridges and burn like
right.
I'm not ready to go knock on a door because if I do knock on a door, they're gonna see all the imperfections that I'm seeing right now, and
Yeah.
then I'm just gonna burn the opportunity.
Yeah.
But I think that's a mistake. I think that's a mistake. You should knock on
Yeah.
the door with
Um,
open one. Yeah.
well, I think we can maybe wrap this up.
Yeah.
This was a great conversation for me and very practical, and
Me too. Yeah. I really.
I'm excited to do all the things we talked about and try to incorporate them and see how it's going along. I hope,
Mhm.
you know, if there, you know, for the one outside listener that comes across this in the next month, I hope there's something valuable in here. But this podcast is about the practice, so
Yeah, and it's
we,
also very sporadic and random in the way that we don't at all plan anything that we're gonna
yeah,
discuss. That made me a little bit anxious because somehow I wanted to design like the longer, bigger picture narrative, like the
yeah,
episodes making sense, some topics going after another, but
yeah,
we're just diving in and exploring without much structure, and
yeah.
I think that's better.
Hey, do we have a day this week? Do we want to go Thursday, Friday, Thursday?
Whatever's better for you. I'm free both
Yeah,
Thursday or Friday. We could even do like maybe Wednesday, Friday if you feel like
yeah.
you have
Well,
time.
what if we do
I don't know.
Wednesday and see what happens?
Yeah,
How about tomorrow or sometime we do an exchange where maybe we get that piece of audio or we get one piece of content that we consume and maybe bring up? I know we just talked about not wanting to design anything, but
yeah, I
I'm
know, but
interested
that's a
in
good
that
idea.
to
Yeah.
explore.
Hmm. But do you
Um,
think I mean, we could just pick a video or like a 30-minute
yeah,
thing
yeah,
and watch it on our time and
yeah.
come to the conversation
That's
already
what I'm
have what
talking about.
and maybe we just mention, hey, if you haven't watched this,
Yeah,
we'll watch it first, then come back to the cast, and
that's what I'm talking
we're gonna
about.
be discussing this. Yeah, I'd like to. It's gonna be hard to decide what content we're gonna like discuss first because it
Could
it
we?
almost it's a mirror of
Yeah,
our interests and it reflects
that's okay though. I
yeah,
think
you know.
that's okay.
Mhm.
We could even go through the few ID anomaly videos that were there. Just go through
Sure.
those,
Mhm.
and because
But
they're
it's
there, there's four
yeah, I
of
know.
them.
Mhm.
I'm never gonna really
We
post
it's
those.
gonna be hard to prioritize
Yeah,
a name over another name.
right.
There's so many
I don't think
names,
we should
but
worry
I don't
about
think we
it.
should
It's
worry
about
about, yeah, exactly.
one thing we could do is we could make a document and we could make a list. So anytimes we could put it on there. We could even do like a randomness generating website where it says like 54, and then we use that to just randomly select
Sure.
a source, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And yeah,
let's touch base, and hopefully we're aiming to be back on Wednesday. Good luck with your
awesome.
morning tomorrow and your night trying to
Good luck with your
plan
new
your day.
habit implementation. We'll discuss a little bit of how we're doing.
My
It's just gonna
ego
be a day. But
my ego already looked at the time and was like, nice. I don't have to do the 5-minute thing. It's past.
oh yeah. Yeah, just I like the take it easy, go minimal, and
Yeah.
consistency is key. I think that's what we're doing here as well. Because we could maybe like force it, continue talking, but as soon as we feel like
Yeah.
we're good, we're good.
And I'm gonna jump onto some creative work. So,
Okay, I'll
hey,
talk to you
thanks.
later.
This was great, and
It was, yeah.
see you later.
Thanks everyone if they made it this far. Peace.